Welcome back, everybody, to the Paper Mario playthrough. This is part 6, and Kooper's kind of staring there with a very uneasy, unblinking stare. That is a stare that will stare right into your soul. That is really, really freaky. Okay, so aside from the fact that I now can't take my eyes off of Kooper, this guy is a Waka. And aside from being a very friendly little spirit, if you hit him with the hammer, he will drop a little lump that falls off of his head called the Waka's Bump. That is one of the best items in the game that restores 25 HP and FP. And basically, if you want to, he doesn't actually just drop one. He will actually drop multiple. So if you want to actually farm them, you want to come over to him with an empty or nearly empty item bag, as I'm going to call it. Because he drops a total of 8. And all you really have to do is just walk off screen and then walk back into the same map and hit him again. And, wow. I saw that little Monty Mole taunting me like that. I don't appreciate that. Get over here. Little jerks. Yeah, I got you all. You are all under my power. And Kooper's as well. He's gonna get you with that stare, man. It's like the Ouija stare. It will stare right into your soul. Okay. So taking out this Monty Mole as well, and his compadre. And moving on, because there is a very interesting enemy in this particular area. By interesting, I mean extremely annoying. But first, we're going to get this letter. And I believe that this is the letter that Parakarry dropped and wanted us to get. But before we go back to him, we're going to do a little bit more exploring. And this little rock sitting there is actually the enemy in particular. It's not actually a rock. It is an enemy that will come to life and chase you. And trying to get away from him because he's really threatening. He got me. Okay. So this guy is a Cleft. And he's very interesting in the fact that he has ridiculous defense. Yep. This doesn't look good at all. And he does a decent amount of damage as well. So we're going to have to go with a brand new strategy on this one, and that's running away. Basically, running away is just, it's a little Mario meter that a little Mario icon runs back and forth, and you charge up the meter by rapidly tapping A, and if you get it up to enough, and if the little Mario stops in the green area, you will run away, but you'll also drop some coins. Now, I remember that I mentioned that I do like Bombette and that she was one of my 2 favorite characters, aside from the fact that her personality is pretty awesome. She is ridiculously useful in battle. Just look at how she completely decimated that Cleft, and I don't really like how this is working out. We're going to have to go with that fancy strategy again. So yeah, you don't really need to get it to 100%, it's just that the little Mario icon has to stop in the greenish area for it to actually count as a runaway. If it does not, then you stay stuck in the battle and the enemy will have a free turn on you. Now, I'm kind of missing with these Bombette bombs. Okay, that was annoying. You need to get back here so that Bombette can explode you. Oop, oh my god, getting away. Alright, this guy's getting super annoying. Wait a minute. Oh, I kind of got him where I wanted him again. If I can get her to explode faster. Perfect! Got him right before he fell. And that takes care of the one. And another bomb will take care of this second. Phew! Man, that Bombette being extremely awesome in this particular area of the game. I do love that Bombette. So now we move on to a new area. Just kind of got to sidestep that other Cleft. And see what's going on over here. Can't really pass over this gap here because there's a broken bridge. And unfortunately down here there's a Cleft that's going to charge me. And, whoa, okay, I actually saw Bombette shoot up into the air there. That was neat. Alright, now, a pretty much foolproof strategy with these Clefts is to get them to charge into you while Bombette is already walking to charge up her own bomb and just have the Cleft run into Bombette as she explodes. It's foolproof and awesome. And here's another letter. Okay. If I recall correctly, Parakarry said that he wanted us to get a letter. We're up to 2 now. That's interesting. So anyway, while we're going to be progressing on a little bit further and getting these Clefts to totally get exploded and owned as a result, I'm going to read a little bit more information about the game. Now, in terms of the gameplay, Paper Mario combines traditional role-playing game elements with concepts and features from the Mario series. For the majority of the game, the player controls Mario, who can jump and use his hammer to overcome physical obstacles placed in the game's overworld. Many of the game's puzzles and boundaries are based upon the abilities of Mario's partners, who each have a specialized skill required for progression in the game. The player accumulates partners as they advance into different locations. Only one partner can accompany Mario in the overworld, although the player can interchange between them at any time. These characters also assist Mario in the game's turn-based battles, where damage inflicted against them results in temporary paralysis, as the characters do not have individual HP statistics. As I explained earlier, in the Koopa Bros Fortress, when Bombette got hit, the amount of damage that they take is how many turns that they will lose. And so, yeah, aside from... Oh, that was pretty gosh darn close. He was walking away there. So I got a little bit of a star piece action back there. Had to walk on a very unsafe-looking scaffold, but you know what? Mario's a daredevil. He'll just, he'll do it. As long as it's important, he'll go for it. He's a go-getter. Alright, so we're going to toss away that fire flower, which, like I said, does nothing for me and will crash the emulator for a mushroom, which is a lot more useful for me. Okay, this guy's got a cleft friend with him, but we're just going to blow him up, because we can do that. And do it well. Man, where would we be if Bombette could explode only once? That would be extremely unfortunate and pretty depressing, actually. Okay. So, going up here, no, not really where I wanted to go. I'm going to go up this ramp instead. Oh, there's a treasure chest, and any previous experience will tell me that has a badge in it. The damage dodge badge. For basically, if you do the action command correctly, you'll reduce Mario's damage from enemies by 1. Which is, in this game, extremely useful, because HP, oh my, HP and damage is definitely dealt out in the 1s. Most of the time. Gotcha. Ha! Stupid cleft. Take that. Man, we're just making a joke out of these clefts now. Me and Bombette, the super duo. Alright, so once again, there's a big fat gap that we can't quite pass yet. But we will be able to eventually, just not quite this moment. And here's a cleft, who's charging at me like a football player. American football, not the other football. Alright. So, yeah, if they don't really find you after a while, they'll just walk back to their original spawn point. What the? Okay. I guess I walked off too far off the screen, and he kind of... Oh, what the... He kind of respawned back to his little spawn point. Okay, this guy's getting annoying. Oh, wait, I think I got him this time. Yep, there we go. Just barely outside of the range of the explosion. What are we doing here? Oh, okay. Oh, and we're getting a refund for that honey syrup. Very good. Get money back. We need that money. Give me all those coins. Give me them. And, how convenient. Another honey syrup. Alright, I could definitely use that, I have some applications for that, I just don't know what they might be, but I'm sure I'll find some use for it eventually. And, what the... Okay, we've got a third letter now. Interesting. As I said before, Parakarry wanted us to get 1 letter, we're now up to 3. Oh, how did I miss him? Oh, he's still charging me? Okay. That's good, that I can just hide in a very obvious open corner and he'll stop chasing after me. Oh, wow, I got him off screen. Perfect. Now to take care of these Monty Moles, the big jerks that they are. Although the very unthreatening jerks that they are. Alright. And lots of coins. I love the coins. Give me the money. I gotta buy, new overalls and a hat and stuff. I need it. I need the money. And we're saving. Because, it's a save block, it's there, might as well use it. Alright, so now we're going to go back to Parakarry. Oh, that's right, he's not over here. He's the next one. I might as well use the slide, slides there. Whee! I love how Mario has to just brush off his overalls there. Alright, so here's a letter. I guess I'll just pick one. There you go. Here's the letter. Okay. I see. Okay, so that's very convenient that we found the other 2 letters. Because as he drops the bomb on you, so to speak, not Bombette, he actually lost 2 other letters aside from the 1 that he originally asks you to get. That would have been nice to know from the get-go, but unfortunately Parakarry is too embarrassed as to how many letters that he loses on a daily basis, as he explains right now. He may have sort of dropped letters all over the Mushroom Kingdom. So as we're going to be going around on our travels, we'll look out for letters as we see them. Now I don't know if I want to take him, but I guess I might as well because I have no choice. So that being said, by taking him, Parakarry becomes our 4th partner. Yes, he did. So now, Parakarry will be able to take us over those really long gaps that Mario couldn't jump himself. Look at how Mario looks. Isn't he so adorable? His nose looks extremely large in that picture, but you know what? Whatever. That's Mario for you. But still. So now, Parakarry, extremely useful member of the party in the overworld, at least, you know, because he can do the whole the flying thing with the fluttering and the wings and the being able to carry Mario over large gaps. But in battle, I really don't like him, you know. To be honest, I really don't find myself using him in battle a lot because he's not, in my opinion, he's just really not one of the more powerful characters or partners that you can get. But still, he's extremely useful in the overworld, as I've explained. So I did see that hammer badge quite a little bit ago. So now we're going to put Parakarry's skills to use, cross over these couple gaps, and get that Quake hammer badge, which will damage all enemies on the ground and ceiling. Interesting with that last part, because we've never actually seen any enemies that have done that so far. Okay, so taking out this first Monty Mole, and now we're going to see what Parakarry can do in battle. Specifically, he can do a little bit of skydiving, and the timing on his attack is kind of wacky, because he kind of rears back, and then he jolts forward with a kick. So, timing it is not really the easiest thing in the world, but it is doable with practice. So, that's 69 star points, and we move on to places that we were earlier. So, actually, you know, with that being said, to be honest, because, well, like I said, we are just going to be going for the next couple of minutes to places that we have been before. I might as well read a little bit more information. Continuing on with the gameplay. Attacks in the game are similar to those in traditional RPGs, although the player can influence the power of a move when attacking or defending by timing a button press accurately or performing some other action command as required. Mario and his partners have a finite capacity to perform special moves, with each of these consuming a particular number of flower points when performed. Such statistics can be increased by earning star points or experience points in combat to level up. There is also an on-screen gauge to display star energy. Oh, it's star energy, that was it. Which is required to perform another type of move that accumulate in number as the player advances through the game. Can't imagine what that could possibly be. So now with Parakarry's fluttering ability, we can now flutter on over and get that star piece that I wasn't able to get to before. Alright, so now we're getting the heck on out of here because I don't want any trouble with no clefs. Silly clefs, being all rocky and having lots of defense. Who do they think they are? Alright, so now we're back to the original place with the Quake Hammer badge. Ugh. Man, this place is quite long. Well, it's not like super long, but, you know, it does take a little bit of time to get from place to place. Up the ramp we go. And following this arrow, off screen to the next map. And now we can flutter on over to this side of the broken bridge. Very useful. And, hey, here's a working bridge. Hey, look, there's a buzzard in the background. What the? That buzzard's looking at me funny. That is interesting. He's watching me like a hawk. Or in his case, watching me like a buzzard. What the? Partner? Is that Applejack? Oh, no, that's the buzzard. Okay. I like this camera angle here. This is neat. Whee. Okay, so that buzzard wants a word with us. Looking at a fancy piece of paper there under his wing. I don't know, he must have some crazy pockets under there. Huh. A Bowser wanted poster? Pretty sure I'm Princess Peach. Aren't I beautiful? Haha. Oh, right. That's it. That's true, isn't it? That she's locked up. Okay. So it looks like we're being pulled into a battle with this buzzard guy. What's his actual name? Bazaar. Okay. Interesting. So we're gonna lead in with some power bounce action. And we get the 6 damage. Okay, not bad, not bad. And let's do some shell shot. Skill shot. Right. There we go. And that was worth a pretty decent amount of damage, actually. Yeah, we're gonna... unfortunately, my partner also gets hit by that as well. That's depressing. Now I can't use him for a turn. But you know what? Power bounce. I can use that. Gonna go for the gold here. Oh, no, that was only 5. Okay. So this Buzzar guy, very interesting. Oh, this is very similar to the runaway feature. Ah, here we go. Okay. So if he actually does take you up, I believe he does do some pretty decent damage to you. But I can't remember, honestly, what happens. Because I might as well just say it doesn't actually happen in this particular battle. Ow! What's your problem, man? Gah! I'm just walking by here being Princess Peach. Come on. Whoa, that was a bit of lag. Now, the funny thing is, you can actually sidestep this battle by saying that you're Luigi. And if you do sidestep this battle, you will not battle him, and there is no way to battle him afterward. So he'll kind of just sit up there in that nest. Although, you know, that's it. He'll just sit there and just do nothing. Ah, mister, stop trying to pull me away by my head. That is very, very inappropriate. I don't like when people do that. Or buzzards, for that matter. You, take this, and that, and one of those. Man, how much HP does this guy have? He has a lot. Yep. Man, the timing on that attack, it stinks. What the heck? Ah. Alright, man, this guy's got a lot of different attacks, too. He's got the wing thing, you know, kind of like a whirlwind in Pokemon. He can pull feathers out from underneath his wing. He can pull you up into the air. He can attack you with his claws. He's got all sorts of things. He's gonna... Oh, no, he's trying to pull me up again. Oh, gotta tap that button. There we go. Bye. Come on. Friggin' just get defeated already, will ya? I would say die, but that would be fairly violent. I'm pretty sure that he wouldn't die from this. Just gonna knock him out. A KO. Make him faint. Oh, here he goes again with that nonsense. The whirlwind. How does he even do that by not flapping his wings? Maybe he's just kind of burping it out. He does have his beak open. Come on. Yes. Oh, finally. There we go. And he's worth, really? A whole 15 star points for that really, really long battle. I got whooped. Woo! Bye. Okay. So like I said, you can sidestep that battle, and you will not get the 15 star points for it. But in this particular case, for this playthrough, I wanted to definitely show that battle, as well as get the star points, because those are useful for leveling up and getting all sorts of new stuff. There we go. Very convenient. A heart block right next to a save block. Just what I needed. Alright. So on to the desert we go. Yep, we're now in the dry desert. Not unlike the map from Mario Kart Double Dash. So this guy is known as Colorado, which is that particular Koopa Troopa that Cooper was mentioning the first time we actually met him. And speaking of... Oh, that's right. We got that letter for Colorado. And, well, here you go, mister. You and your fancy... I was going to say him and his fancy mustache, but you can't see it past Mario's hat. He's got a very interesting mustache, as well as a very interesting English accent. Call me old chap and whatnot. So now, as a little bit of... There's that mustache. As a little bit of a bonus, we're going to have Cooper out. And by having him out, he'll actually talk to Colorado. Look at how excited he is with that vacant, soul-piercing stare of his. Okay. But yeah, so I did actually find that pretty interesting, though. That if you had Cooper out and talked to him, there would be a sort of special attacks from Cooper. So, you know, whatever. Making Cooper's day. Maybe he won't stare at me like that forever. Alright, he was staring into the back of my head like that because he really, really wanted to meet Professor Colorado and wouldn't stop staring until I actually did. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of enemies here. We got Pokies and we got little bandit guys. Now, even though I don't actually jump into battle with them, the bandit guys will actually, if they attack you, they have a chance to actually take a coin away from you, which you can get back by attacking them back before they actually run away from the battle, which is what they will do if they have money stolen from you. And the Pokies are, well, Pokies, and, you know, you can't necessarily jump on them because they got spikes all over them, which is very unfortunate. Alright, welcome to the Dry Outpost, but first we're actually going to do a little bit of a, or make a detour here. What was that? I don't know, I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, never mind the detour, we're going to do that in a moment, momentarily, as it were. And we're here, in this very Arabian-looking area known as the Dry Outpost. Hey, look, it's a little purple mouser. Where are you going? Get back here. Wait a minute, hey, where's he zipping off to? He's he's the manager of that store. I need to buy stuff. Where'd he go? Gotta go find him. I need to go buy stuff. And so, oh, hello. This is the first time we're running into this guy. This is Chuck Quizmo. And anytime you meet him and you talk to him, he will give you a little contest thingy, which is actually in the form of a quiz. It actually pulls you into an alternate reality with a crowd and an assistant. And he asks you a very simple question, or quiz question. And if you get it right, all this crazy stuff will happen with confetti and whatnot, and he will give you a star piece. And I can't remember actually how many times that you can meet him in the game. It's definitely, you know, a limited amount, because there's only so many star pieces in the game. But, oh, hey, get back here. Who's this guy you was talking to? I don't really have any nice things to give you, unfortunately, at the moment. But yeah, Chuck Quizmo's quizzes will get progressively harder, which is quite unfortunate. But, aside from this, now if you go down this really long alleyway and ignore the lag that just happened there, you can talk to this lady with the crazy blonde coif coming out of her hood there. And by talking to her, basically, this is Merlee. She is the younger sister of Merlovely, who I actually didn't meet earlier in the playthrough, which I could have. And by paying her a certain amount of coins, she will give you a special magic. And here it comes. Through this amazingly very interesting and slightly laggy cutscene. With the cards that turn Mario into all different sorts of poses and bring him on down and imbue him with a crazy, crazy power. This power will get your foes to cower in your darkest hour. Very, very interesting. And so basically what she did is that, might as well just go ahead and explain it now. Basically, Merlee will appear randomly during battles and after battles to give you all sorts of random things. Like, she'll give you boosted attack power, she'll give you boosted defense, she can also give you boosted star points at the end of the battle, and after the battle is actually over, she can give you bonus coins. So basically, all she does is give you really awesome stuff, although you can't really rely on it because she only appears really randomly, so you can't really predict when it's going to happen. And the amount of coins that you actually pay her actually dictate how many times she'll actually show up. So I decided to pay the 50 coin course, which is actually the maximum amount of times that she will show up before the magic runs out. And once it does, you can come back to her and pay her the fee again, and she'll start appearing again in battles and stuff. So yeah, Merlee, extremely useful. She's super awesome. And so now we're going to be going ahead and doing that detour. Whoa! After checking my items, which is actually like the item storage system in this game, you can talk to any item shop owner, and they will hold stuff for you. And it's interchangeable. It doesn't matter which store owner you talk to. They'll always hold the same items for you. So now we go on to this very cool looking oasis. Hit a tree, get a lemon, and pass by this weird blue block. Now this is a super block, and with this you can upgrade one of your party members. They'll gain extra attack power, and they'll also master a new ability. Now I can't imagine that I would want to use it on the character that has been extremely useful up to this point. Why not use it on Bombette? You know, I mean, it would have made a lot more sense to use it on Goombario, who I've used just non-stop up to this point. Might as well just use it on silly old Bombette, who does absolutely nothing. But that being said, she will gain some extra attack power now and become stronger in battles, as well as mastering a new ability called Power Bomb, actually, which will damage all enemies on the ground. So that's it for this part of the Paper Mario playthrough. Join me in part 7, where I'll be moving on with the superpowered Bombette onto some new and awesome things in the next exciting edition of the Paper Mario playthrough. See you all next time.